Right, welcome back to the program. If you've just tuned in, you're watching Good Morning Nigeria live on the network service. Time now for newspaper review, and that will be up in just a moment.
All right, Chukudokolo Baja is here seated, ready for the newspaper review. Or should I say Chooks the boy?
Yes, call me whatever you want. The point is that we've got a lot of content to release this morning. I don't know.
Thank goodness you didn't say powers.
Your smile is like the half moon. Is it the 48,000 naira effect?
For a moment, I thought he wanted to say he would release powers.
Anyway, Ademola is not here today. I'm sure wherever he is now,
yes,
he'll be happy for his side's win yesterday.
They will go to a Europa conference.
Yeah.
Low level competition. But it's okay. Let's begin with the blueprint. And it leads with the story 1,266 FCT Kebbi Nasarawa pilgrims arrive Saudi Arabia. Sultan commends Tinubu. Well, just below the masthead, Zulum approves 200 million naira housing estate for FCE Gwoza. And then in sports, ITTF Africa Cup, Tinubu congratulates Quadri on victory. You can get that on page 10. What more? Just at the bottom of the front page of the blueprint, Rivers crisis. 5 pro-Wike commissioners quit Fubara's cabinet. And I hear somebody say again, we won't take 48,000 naira minimum wage, Labour tells FG. Well, let's leave it there for the blueprint and head straight to the Guardian, which leads with the story, Labour minimum wage. Labour quits talks as FG offers 48,000 naira. OPS 54,000 naira. With the rider says government offer insults sensibilities of Nigerian workers. FG's proposals, a reduction of federal workers' current pay. OPS begs Labour to return to negotiation table. Right, and it has a picture story there. Labour empty seats, Labour on one side and FG on the other. You can get details of that story on page 5. Then on page 8, you have governors have killed local governments. That's according to Senate. CNG nationwide deployment begins May 29. That story is on page 9. And then just to take a bit of sports, Finidi promises MPFL players space in Super Eagles. And just before I go, let me take a look at what Mr. and Mrs. are saying here. Mr. says, Angelica, why must I do all the things you want? Why do you think you are that good? And Mrs. says, well, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Claire.
Just emphasizing, the obvious. Anyway, let me...
It has to be the obvious.
For Claire. Yes.
Let me quickly take a look
Victor, submit your life to your wife and children and you will know peace in life. There is no other alternative. I'm not joking.
I hope you will not allow Victor to eat into your time of review. So let's quickly take a look at leadership. And leadership has quite a few stories. But the lead story is living wage. Hope dims for workers as FG offers 48,000 naira. Again, the details of NLC's reaction is quite there. But Nigerians going through a lot of pain is also the sub there from Bishop Kuka. The details of that on page 4. And there's also the story on page 26, new gas projects to boost domestic gas, domestic supply by 25%. That's according to, excuse me, according to President Tinubu. And there's also MFLA pleads not guilty to fresh fraud charges. It's also on page 21. And the story that broke yesterday, Kanu man sets mosque ablaze over inheritance dispute, and 24 people injured in that incident. And just above the nameplate, you have 5 pro-Wike commissioners quit for Barra's cabinet, and inflation defies economic reforms, hits 33.69% in April. Chukwudi.
We start with the 48,000 naira. Definitely NLC, TUC clamoring for 615,000 naira. That is, placing it up there so that when all the knocking down happens, they'll find a median, so to speak. My maths has never been good anyway. Whatever happens, negotiation has started. Yes, there's a walkout. There was a walkout yesterday, but it doesn't mean they're not going to come together again. They sure will. Because Nigerian workers are out there waiting, expecting their lives to be ameliorated by a wage increase, which has become inevitable. We pointed out here, without the benefit of a survey though, that what people earn now is just 1/3 of what they are eventually forced to spend. So that anomaly has to be corrected somehow. But what we keep on saying, even though we may be armchair economists, is that you have to be careful the amount of money you're asking for. I remember my father would ask me in those days, Chukwudi, this money, who prints it? I said, this government. Can't they print 1 million and give everybody? I said, Dad, what it means is you empty all the shops at the same time. Cars will go from it was 7,000 naira ex-Lagos then for the 504 and 3,500 for 1,500, I can't remember, for the Volkswagen. You can't buy cars anymore. He said, I don't understand the economics you are preaching. Let them print enough money for everybody.
And give to everybody.
So we have to be careful about too much money getting into supply. Because at the end of the day, you can't even afford to buy a cup anymore. So some kind of equilibrium, I keep using that word, has to be endeavored at by the person asking and the person offering. There's a way out.
Yes, I think
dialogue, of course.
I think one thing or two, rather, or even three, that we should take into cognizance is the fact that our economy at this moment needs attention. I mean, that is, it's obvious, even with the inflation rate now,
yes.
Hitting 33.69%. Exactly, 34. So it's obvious that something needs to be done. I mean, our economy is not robust enough. But also, on the other side, I said 2 or 3 things. And the other thing to also note is that the ratio between the asking, rate and what has been offered is too wide.
It's negotiations.
Yes, it's too wide.
Even government is negotiating with the 48,000 naira.
Initial. It's like a chair. It's like chessboard. Government and NLC, they're playing chessboard.
Who blinks first?
That's it.
So the government has brought it so.
Yeah.
So it's not for NLC to say no. It's for NLC to say, okay, this is what we think about this.
Exactly.
This is not commensurate.
They will eventually arrive at a figure.
Yes,
it's the seesaw, it's the dragging and all that we're saying.
But the third part,
the time for that.
The third part for me is that while the tete-a-tete, is going on, the negotiations are going on, we hope things improve. We hope the economy improves.
No, the economy.
We hope the inflation will be addressed. Because if that does not happen, it means that the margin of demand will continue to either remains at that.
Exactly. So we all have to. There's a report. Yes, you talked about inflation hitting 33 point something, 34 to precise. For approximation. They are saying that marginal 0.49% rise in inflation rate raises hope. So in April,
Okay.
there seems to be a slowing down. That headlong dash
Nice.
to too much money pursuing too few goods or whatever the inflation in Nigeria was caused by. That's the one I knew in secondary school. I don't know whether it's too much money pursuing too few goods. I think part of the problem is that banditry, insurgency have made food production, for instance, cutthroat business.
I don't think it's too few goods.
No, it's not.
It's not too few goods.
That's
The goods are there in the market,
in
yes.
our time. There are other factors.
There are other
Not one thing causes inflation.
Indeed, a lot of other factors.
You know, so let them keep talking. The most important thing is let them keep talking. 615,000, 48,000, you can see that there's a lot of space
But there's
in
always,
between.
there's always time to stop talking and act.
They've not even started
Because if we
talking. They
ever
just
keep,
started talking.
keep talking,
And you're
we
talking
can't talk
about
the whole
acting.
year.
I can assure you that
Yes.
this will take another 1 month or thereabouts.
Yes, okay. So there's also the story for me is the effort that the government is, showing or taking to actualize the directive to MDAs, to begin to purchase
The CNG, yeah.
Yes,
Very,
yes, we saw
very,
that,
very.
some CNG projects have been, inaugurated in several states.
Yes.
And more are to be inaugurated. And I think this is a march towards what perhaps the government will do, maybe by May 29, or maybe July 12, when, the president makes his speech. So June 12. So I think it's commendable. It's commendable, but also there's need for stations, more stations, where vehicles can get this.
That definitely will grow, over time. The most important thing is that it's been initiated. The most important thing is that some vehicles are going to start running on CNG, in little or no time. And the impact, the end result is that Nigeria is not going to be accused of being one of the worst nations in terms of the depletion of the ozone layer, the release of greenhouse gases. But by implication too, I think that affordability is somewhere there. They have not been talking about is coming cheaper as loudly as I would expect them to. But remember that Dangote was not so loud about we will drop the price of diesel when we start and all that. But when eventually they started production, you could see what happened. I want to think that that's exactly what's going to happen.
So we can hope for better days ahead.
I should think so.
Well,
I
let's...
think we must do well to always, we talk about reorientating our minds. We must always do well to project, the positive, to be optimistic about government initiatives. And because when we have that positive mind towards, initiatives and all that, it sends some hope. And then it also healing. But if we look at it, this thing government did do like this, the price it is. The CNG, powered
vehicles.
Yes, is certainly innovative. In other climes, they are even going ahead and, you are having electric cars. I rode in an electric car, in Harlem.
Yeah, actually, abroad, you're talking about Harlem now, you have hybrid cars that could choose across the board, come to think of it.
Well,
so technology has moved so much.
Sorry, okay, go ahead, because there's just one more.
I wanted to thank you and thank him.
No,
because it's about time.
No, just before we go, we shouldn't just close our eyes to this incident in Kano. A man setting up a mosque for what? Inheritance dispute, and 24 injured in that incident. And yesterday, I was listening to, I think either the PR or the police command in Kano, of course, ruling out any exogenous, external factor or hand.
Other than what has been
other than
stated.
what has been stated, so that we don't go,
So
reading.
where is motivation in all of this? There must be motivation somewhere.
So
It's
inheritance
the individual
dispute.
with whom he has the
Inheritance.
dispute in there.
Inheritance. That's why I wanted to get the details of this, but again, we don't have time. So for those who are interested in the story, the leadership has that story on the inside, on the front
They
page.
should inherit
Yes,
the
but
newspaper.
the inheritance
All right.
dispute, Chukwudi, you come from the,
Claire,
eastern part, and you know what inheritance dispute.
The Supreme Court has said
we have to thank
women are
Chukwudi
also
Olubaja.
entitled to property of their fathers and all that. So I don't know.
Nobody's disputing that.
Fine.
Well, Chukwudi Olubaja, thank you very much, and you can go get your inheritance now. Thank you. We'll see you